According to a Boxing News 24 article, link will be in the description box. Dmitry Bivol has inked his part of a contract to battle for the light heavyweight undisputed championship in Saudi Arabia in 2024 against IBF, WBC, WBO champ Artur Beterbiev. Now, this might be news that everyone that follows the sport and has followed these two particular light heavyweight champions in particular, this may be news that excites you about them finally coming together. It goes on to say that Dmitry has talked nonstop about wanting to fight for the undisputed championship since his victory over Canelo Alvarez last year, and he's now on the precipice of getting his wish if Beterbiev comes through in his next fight. But there is the loophole, right? Because Beterbiev has an upcoming fight in January, and he's going to be facing Callum Smith from the UK. Now, when we talk about this fight, sometimes when you count your chickens before they're hatched, you can slip. I'm not so certain Beterbiev may, but stranger things have happened. The article continues, Bivol ready, Beterbiev's test looms. For the fight to take place, however, the 39-year-old Beterbiev, who is currently 19-0 with 19 KOs. What a record, and what performances to achieve that record. He must defeat his #1 WBC mandatory and Callum Smith, whose personal record is 29-1 with 21 KOs. He lost his last fight, or his single loss is to Saul Canelo Alvarez. The fight will take place January 13th at the Center Videotron in Quebec City in Canada. If Beterbiev loses the fight, which is very possible, the article says, the clash between he and Bivol will not happen. This is a dangerous fight for Beterbiev, as the 6'4" Smith is in the prime of his career, motivated and looking powerful. He didn't look so powerful against Saul. If Callum shows the same form as he has since moving up to 175 in 2021, he wins this fight by knockout, considering that Beterbiev isn't what he once was when he fought in the 2012 Olympics and arguably beat Alexander Usyk in that competition. It's interesting that the article and the author of the article, Jamie Exdale, is not aware of the strengths of Dmitry Bivol, not aware of the strengths of Artur Beterbiev and how differing they are. Beterbiev is quick of foot. He's known to be mobile. His footwork is praised, but not his power. Beterbiev is noted to be able to not only move very well in the ring, but exercise leverage on short shots, as well as punching from mid-range and from distance. He is one of the strongest fighters in present-day boxing. He's not one noted to burn the candle at both ends, nor is he one for much of the foolishness that kind of matriculates through the sport of boxing presently. He's a throwback, and most of his opponents end up on their back because Artur is an assassin in the ring. Possibly the only type fighter with the chance of tarnishing what Dmitry Bivol has accomplished. And when you think about the two coming together, their styles are great contrasting styles that could bring the best out of both men. Dan Raphael is reporting that the 33-year-old Bivol has signed his part of the contract for the Beterbiev undisputed champion. Now it's up to he to do his part and make that fight happen. The fight between Beterbiev and Bivol has been talked about for the last 6 years, and it's too bad that it's taken this long, as it would have had more meaning if it had happened when Artur was younger. Beterbiev has slowed down the last 2 years, and it's harder for him to land his crushing shots like he used to. If the fight with Bivol does happen, it's going to be difficult for Beterbiev to connect against his younger and faster opponent, who will box and not take chances. If you notice, people speak only of youth but not experience. If you notice, people speak only of boxers but not fighters. Boxing is the type of sport where you can take someone who is as skilled as you've seen and pit them against someone who has the will and desire, albeit a crude personality, and go in there and dismantle the skilled fighter. You've seen a crude guy get outclassed by a skilled guy. It really is up to the individuals and not those on the outside looking in. But if you have the experience of understanding what you see when you watch boxing matches, a great deal of the time when skill sets, competitiveness, experiences can all be equal, it then becomes the measure of a man. And in this case, I look at it as a battle between Bivol and Beterbiev is exactly that. What's within a man. And Callum Smith is going to find that out as well as we look forward and what may happen. Bivol's record is currently 22-0 with 11 KOs. So no one is concerned about him stopping fighters. But everyone should be concerned with the fact that sooner or later, he's going to have to answer the bell against Artur Beterbiev, a fight, as stated earlier, we have anticipated for quite a while. And boy, what a way to kick things off in Saudi for 2024 if these two are able to come together. I would be there to watch, not in Saudi, but I would be tuning in, because the two of them are the class of their respective division, and I do believe the competitive nature of the two will show in that particular fight. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about the potential of this fight finally happening in 2024 in Saudi, of all places. Leave comments and let's discuss. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.